Friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am here very excited to be with you today to go over two very awesome choices for a running stroller. So this blue gentleman I have here on my right is going to be the UppaBaby Ridge, and this fancy solid black option over here is going to be the Bob Wayfinder. So this video is comparing and contrasting the Wayfinder to the Ridge. I'm doing this during store hours, so I'm gonna have to keep checking for customers. Swore I'd never do that, but I was really excited to go over these with you, so let's get into it. Upon first glance, when I first opened the Wayfinder, I thought it was very strange looking, and I was very thrown off by the overall concept here, which is a narrower body on the actual frame, and then the wheels that are extending out, and you have the frame recessed. Over here on this guy, on the Ridge, it's going to be the same story, but the stroller just feels overall larger, and it also feels like this one can hold a bigger kid. However, after doing all my research, the Wayfinder from Bob actually holds a larger child, both physically and weight-wise. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. One thing that I thought was interesting was that both of these products have a height top-out recommendation. So the Bob says to stop using after a child is 44 inches. On the Ridge, even though I thought it looked longer, their recommendation is 40 inches. The Bob will hold a 65-pound child. The Ridge is going to hold a 55-pound child. An interesting thing, though, I will say, is that there's no question to me that the Ridge has a larger basket and it will hold more weight. So the Ridge will hold 20 pounds in the basket, and the Bob will tell you to stop putting things in it after about 10 pounds. Both of these strollers come with included cup holders, so that is a really nice feature, and they both have a soft foam handle. The Ridge has a wider handle than the Wayfinder. I did not measure that, but I'm gonna do that for you guys right now because that is a good thing to know. So on the Wayfinder, you're at about 14 inches from end to end. And on the Ridge, 17 inches. So why does that matter? I'll say this too, if you look at the handle style, the Ridge's handle has an ergonomic curvature toward the side. So when you're pushing, your hands rest theoretically more ergonomically here. Here they're more flat across. Again, I was anticipating that I would care for the Ridge more, but something that I noticed, and I'm going to keep them this way to show, is that the Bob has far more positions of adjustment for the handle. So no matter how you're pushing, you have the option to tilt it and adjust it. Uppa Ridge has very few adjustment points compared to this guy. And this has a taller handle. Why does that matter? Maybe you are shorter and you want your handle height to be able to come down low. So they both have a nice tall handle. Again, the Ridge will be taller. Ridge is topping out at 47-inch tall handle height. And then on the Bob, you have a 45-inch. For the low handle height on the Bob, you have a 35-inch, and on the Ridge, oh God, I measured it. I was kind of shocked. It was high. The short handle here is 40. So here, definitely a shorter handle height for somebody who might be shorter to push more comfortably. All right, what else is different? They both have suspension, which is great. The Bob's tires on the Wayfinder are air inflatable. The Ridge's tires are going to be already filled when they come, but they're not filled with air. They are just solid, so they are a no maintenance tire. If you live in a climate that has a lot of hot and cold and that changes over time, the no maintenance tire is actually really nice. Both of these options, and again, the Bob is not hard. You just pump it up a little bit in between seasons. Not the end of the world, but just differences. Both of these rear tires are 16 inches and your front tire will be 12 inches. The UppaBaby has an option to lock the front wheel forward outside of the frame for a larger triangular plane of stability for your downstride. When you are doing this, you can also lock the wheel underneath the frame. So it has 2 locking positions. And it's able to be adjusted with a button here. Green indicates that you're ready to go. With the bob, there is a piece, there's like a lever on the front that's black. It's kind of hard to see. I had to look in the book, but once you clip that, that's gonna have your wheel lock under the frame. So they want you to lock it if you're planning on using it in activity. And both of these options have a dial on the wheel where you can do alignment. So if you're locking the tire and over time the stroller is veering to the left or right, with either one of these, you can align that so that it will still push straight even several years down the road. The bob has a 5-year warranty on the frame, and then I think it's 1 year on the incidental pieces. Doesn't count the tires. UppaBaby, as you can see here, right on it, they talk about a 3-year warranty. It's actually a 2-year warranty, I think, and then you need to register the product within 90 days of purchase and you get the additional 3rd year. I could be mistaken about that, but that's been my experience. And the other thing that I think is important to note about this is the size difference in the seats. So, and overall width. So this stroller is 26 inches wide. This one, even though it's slimmer throughout the seat, the tires are 25 inches wide. Your seat depth on the bob is deeper. So you get 10 inches before the knees break over. On UppaBaby, it was an 8.5 inch seat depth on the seat. Both of them have 19 inches on the backrest. Both of them can sit up, I would say, almost in 90 degrees, so that's a great thing. They both recline flat enough for probably around a child 3 months, as long as they have head and neck control. Both of them have head height clearance of 24 inches. So as far as the seats go, the drop down here from knee to the bottom is about 10 to 11 inches. Drop down here from knee to the bottom is 12 inches. Now, I would actually give the benefit to the bob because it has a deeper seat versus this one having a shallower seat. And interestingly, even the Vista from UppaBaby has a deeper seat than this, which I thought was kind of odd, by about an inch. So, they both have a handbrake to slow the product when you're going down a hill or if you just want to gradually slow it down. They both are claiming to have a flip-flop free braking mechanism. I will say that the Ridge makes it a little simpler with the red and the green, red to stop, green to go. They both have a very accessible basket. Again, the Ridge's basket is larger, but I will give Bob credit for doing a much better job for, compared to their other strollers in the past. You have a much better accessibility, and both of these baskets come with a cover on the top. I'm trying to think of anything else super critical. I did push them both with 50 pounds in them just to kind of see sort of at the higher end of the weight how they felt to push. I was very surprised because again, I am probably I have a preference toward the look of this product. I think this is a better looking product, no question. I think the materials look fancier. They also feel a little bit more robust than what you get here. But the Wayfinder was easier to push with a lot of weight in it. So with 50 pounds, this had an easier one-handed steering than the Ridge, which sort of bummed me out because I really thought that this one was gonna be like superior, but this Wayfinder has been blowing my mind as I'm becoming more familiar with it. So I think that that's really cool. They both have one-handed fold. And this is where Bob is going to be really excited about this new product versus this guy. One of the criticisms of this product, which is the Ridge, I'm gonna make sure my handle's up, is that it's large. So that is folded. And as you can see, it comes up to my hip. On this guy, when you fold it, it's one-handed, so that's new for them. You move the seat to do that. There's a twister on the inside, and the whole thing collapses down. And so you can see it is a smaller fold. They both weigh about the same. The Ridge is around 29 pounds. This guy, the Wayfinder, is 31. So again, not a huge difference. One difference is that when they're folded, the Ridge is a one-handed unfold with the movement that we use to fold it to unfold it. So that's the locking mechanism. The locking mechanism on the Wayfinder is here, external. You move it. But again, not difficult. And the stroller opens up very simply. One other thing, and this is just like so tiny and minor, but I am crazy, so I want to point it out. I will give the benefit to the Bob that they have the ability to close the mesh window. Whoops, there we go. There's a mesh window on top here. This product, you can close it off completely. When we're utilizing the Ridge with our canopy fully extended, there's a mesh ventilation there that has no coverage. You have to pull the canopy tighter up and then you can zip to make that covered. But it is a little bit annoying to me when they don't offer some type of cover for there. So both of these products will work with car seats with the purchase of a separate adapter. Where the Ridge is more beneficial is if you want to use a bassinet. So the Ridge has an option where you can remove the seat fabric and pop a bassinet directly onto it versus the Wayfinder. There's no option for bassinet, but you do have the option for car seat. And with both of these, that is a separate purchase. So you would purchase both the car seat separately and the adapter separately. Okay, oh, pricing. The Bob is $579. UppaBaby Ridge is $599. So really, really similar. Little differences. I'd say if you want more easy to use features and you have the space, the Ridge is a really nice choice. If you're more concerned about the space and you want the lightest and easiest push for the longest duration of use, holds the bigger child, the Wayfinder is going to be your victor in this competition. All right, so if there is anything that I didn't go over, or if you have questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Please also feel free to hit like and subscribe. We would love to see you back for our next video. Golly, I lost my remote to turn the camera off, so I'm gonna have to come and turn it off manually. But I do wanna say thank you so much for watching. We definitely appreciate our viewers, and hopefully we'll see you in our next video, okay? Thank you so much.